So Bitcoin is 104K, but there's actually only one token that you need to worry about this weekend. It's going to make or break your weekend. Okay, we got so much to talk about here. You guys know exactly what that is. That thing is pumping, but is it time to get out of this thing, or is it going to go? Guys, what a banger show I've got lined up for you. Let's get right into this. And remember, as always, hit that like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe, and guess who's here? Yeah, the man is here. He's looking very excited, a little bit edgy. He's like, oh, it's that resistance. What's going to happen? So we're going to find out now. Okay, we're going to find out now what is going down. Let's look at Banter Bubbles, guys. Lido, okay. Peppy, anyone need other clues? Let me know in the chats what is actually driving this at the moment. Look under Lido, the 𝗬𝗔𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 shitcoin waking up. Yeah, 𝗬𝗢𝗟𝗥 looking good. Overall, I'd say we are happy. Okay, Floki, that's an interesting surprise. That's a BNB chain meme coin that is cooking. 𝗙𝗡𝗡𝗧, we had a move out of that this morning. That's been a banger. News on 𝗪𝗢𝗡𝗢𝗪, as you guys know, that 𝗪𝗢𝗡𝗪 is really starting to cook now, but at resistance. Is it time for a little reversal? So, guys, things have been super exciting today, super spicy, and I've got one token for you that you really need to worry about. It's the only thing that's going to make or break your weekend, make or break maybe the next week for you guys. So let's get cracking. Let's go BTC. And right now, this isn't the one we need to be that worried about, because our friend Dominance is busy dropping at the moment as well. But let's take a look. Bitcoin on the 2 hour. Now, this has been the market leader for the last while. And a lot of the moves have been dictated by tiny little moves in Bitcoin. They've been, dictating what is happening to the alts. And we have seen today the alts are responding a little bit better in spite of a little bit of BTC chop. So what are we looking at now? So you can see we've had a nice pump today, but we did print a lower high on Bitcoin for now. So there is still a possibility that I'm going to get my 103 down to about 102 region that I was looking at for chart hackers earlier today. So lower high in play. This is still on the table for me. 103 to 102. You can see I've got my anchored VWAP here. I've got my horizontals. I've got my 382. I've got a trend as well in that area. So realistically for me, 103 to 102 on BTC is starting to make sense. But right now, it's all about what is going to happen with Dominance, and it's all about what is going to happen with Ethereum. Okay. And right now you can see upside potential targets. You can see the wick high, that's 106,400. And then we're going to play the same targets from yesterday. 107, we're looking at that guy, and then 108,400 makes a bit of sense to me for the next rejection zone. And Rave ZA says, I should be happy, but my mental is so fucked. I can't believe this is real, bro. Exactly. But here's the thing, okay? It might not be real. This could be another one of those sucker moves, okay? Where we've seen ETH start moving, everybody gets long. And what do they do on the weekend? They literally ruin your weekend. Okay, so I've got shorts for you. Some of the shorts we in from yesterday, they're still in play. Okay, some of the longs, obviously, they're absolutely ripping. So I'm going to cover you guys well. Okay, you're going to leave this session. Well. Okay, let's go. Bitcoin Magazine. Now, we know yesterday we covered Christine Lagarde. She was saying she was confident that Bitcoin wouldn't enter the reserves in the EU. So I'll tell you when it will enter, when she's gone. Okay, eventually, at some point, she is going to go. And here we go. So here's last coin standing. I quite like this. Here's the EU reserves at the moment, if that's the way she wants to continue. And Chris says, don't break your mouse. Tickle the like. Yes, guys, do this.
Treat the like button like Michael Jackson. Just beat it.
You know. Be like Michael Jackson. Just beat it. I dropped this today. Follow me on Twitter at the Lord of Entry. January has been a strong month for BTC, posting an 11% gain. Historically, January averages a 4% gain and has been positive in 5 of the last 6 years. That's nice. February and March also look promising with an average gain of 16 and 13%. Okay, are we onto something good? Are we onto something spicy here with Bitcoin and the market? So before we get deep into the coins, okay, Uncle Donald is really ruffling some feathers there, and he's raising tariffs and all things like that. Let's actually hear what he has to say. James, just let me know if you can hear this.
Cities that we're giving to Canada and to Mexico in the form of deficits, and I'll be putting the tariff of 25% on Canada and separately 25% on Mexico. And we will really have to do that because we have very big deficits with those countries. Those tariffs may or may not rise with time.
So he's banging out the tariffs, and here was an interesting one. If you live in a BRICS country, okay, BRICS country is it's Russia and it's a couple of others, South Africa, there's a few countries here in BRICS, and the idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by and watch is over, says Uncle Donald. We're going to require commitment from these seemingly hostile countries that will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty USD. Okay, what he says at the bottom here is there's no chance that BRICS will replace the USD in international trade or anywhere else. And any country that tries to say hello should say hello to tariffs and goodbye to America. Okay, so basically he's saying you're not going to trade with America if you're going to come with that shit, and he's going to put 100% tariffs down. Okay, so behave yourselves. He's got out his cane. Okay, he's gone old school here. He's smacking them around at the moment. Do you concur?
I'll tell you, mass panic going on here. Dollar has shit itself today, right?
25%.
And 25%. Yeah, the dollar's tanking. Everybody's terrified. The government's trying to do damage control, saying they're going to give some sort of tax breaks or something, or stimulus, or who knows what, because, yeah, the country's in panic. This is bad news for Canada.
Fuck.
He knows what he's doing. This is hardball negotiating. I didn't think he'd actually go through with it. I thought he was just sticking his chest out threatening.
Yeah.
He's not playing.
Well, look, he's going to pull this move on the BRICS countries as well. I can tell you that much. That shit's going to go down. Okay, 100% tariffs. Woo, it's going to get spicy. Okay, enough of the downer. Enough of the downer stuff. Okay, good.
It's a green day.
Good luck in Canada, there, Canada bros.
Right.
I hope you guys get through that. We had some Apple earnings yesterday as well. That came through, and revenue 4% up. Okay, so that was a nice revenue beat there for Apple. Earnings per share also beat as well. So let's take a look. Nice move on Apple. And again, guys, we're going to be trading stocks pretty soon on this show. Okay, so I've been integrating a little bit more and more, and I'm bringing stocks to you guys. It's coming, okay, in the next few weeks. And now I want you guys to start learning a couple of things here. And number one is the 200-day MA is such a fucking banger on these stocks. And there's another trick here. If you are bleeding into earnings, okay, that often gives you an opportunity to play off the 200-day MA. If you're bleeding, you can look for longs. If you're pumping into earnings, you can look for shorts. It plays off or plays out time and time again. Okay, so here's Apple dripped over the last couple of weeks into the 200-day MA, and then a nice little push higher on Apple. You can see there's a bit of a sweat now on that weekly, but a nice move. Bleeding in, bounces on the 200-day MA, looking good at the moment from that perspective. Now, obviously, you want to watch your 50-day moving average at 240. That is obviously going to be a key level here for you guys, and you want to close above that if you're going to carry on that grind. But a nice little dip into the 200-day, nice little pump. Okay, so things looking good there. Then the S&P. Now, this is the mini futures. Now, I normally watch the S&P, and that is obviously open during market hours. But now this is the ES mini futures. Okay, so this is the 24-hour market that you can track. And now this thing is putting pressure on its own all-time highs at the moment. So there could be another move coming on the ES1. So this is the futures that are trading. So there could be a little surprise coming here for us. Not in the not so distant future. Could even happen today. Alternatively, you can see we are at a resistance band, and we might start feeling some pressure. So other than the S&P being at major resistance, we also have something called Ethereum sitting at major resistance. Are we allowed to get excited just yet? Okay, this scares me. Okay, now
the end is near.
Guys,
bad news.
Okay, I'm first going to give you the bad news. Okay, I'm going to give you guys the bad news.
It's been all bad so far. Where's the fucking good news, man?
We're coming with good news. Okay, we're coming with good news. Okay, here's the bad news. Okay, Michael Saylor is on Forbes. Now, every time somebody in the crypto game has been put on Forbes, it was basically the local top. Okay, let's just take a look at this. Okay, what happened when they put CZ on Forbes? Okay, there was a meltdown. Okay, what happened when they put Sam Bankman-Fried on Forbes? Okay, shortly thereafter, there was a meltdown. Okay, so here is Michael Saylor. Okay, give it a few days. Okay, maybe a little bit more upside. You can see, all these guys, both of them had a little pump afterwards. So give it a few days. But that is not the best sign. Okay, that is not the best sign at the moment in terms of where we want to be in the current market conditions. Okay, so now we're going to jump into altcoins. We're going to jump into ETH. I've got setups, I've got longs, I've got shorts for you guys. You're going to be so well looked after now. You're going to have the best weekend, because whether you want to be short or long, I got you covered. Okay, let's go. So here's ETH. So we've had a banging long on ETH now. This is me trading ETH on Prime XBT. We have now pushed into resistance. We have pushed into a rejection zone. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hold this ETH long on Prime XBT, and I've opened a head short on my other trading account that I'm going to show you guys. King Cosmic, are you out? Are you out of what? Are you out of your trade? Are you out of the market? What are you doing there, bro? Talk to me. I need to know what King Cosmic is up to there. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. And what is Drake tweeting about, Matt? Drake tweeting about Solar was top 2.
I think that's supposed to be Sailor. So I don't know. Drake must have tweeted about Sailor, and is that another top signal? I don't know.
Yes. Correct. Okay. It could be. So head shorts in play right now for me on ETH. You can see we are long. We are comfortable. Okay. Nice little ETH position starting to turn green. If we start breaking some levels that I'm going to show you, I'm just going to keep adding to this one on Prime XBT. So we're going to see if we can get some action there. So Bitcoin, we are covered. Okay. We know what's what. Bitcoin on the daily, look, not much has changed. Those levels remain the same that we are watching here on the 2 hour. I just want you to focus on the downside levels there, 103, 102, and then your upside 107 and 108. Those are the upside ones you need to focus on for that. And then in terms of dominance and ETH, Matthew Highland says, all right, ETH, it's time to do this and push dominance down like you did back in 2017. Okay, they want to send us back 7 years, but there is a scenario where this has happened. Okay, dominance banged up and then had a nice rejection, and then they sent it down. Okay, so it's nice to dream. It's nice to get excited about these things. And here is dominance again on the 12 hour for us. So lovely. It's been lovely watching this dominance. Okay, nice to see it drifting lower. This is what's helping all your shit coins that are pumping, and this is what's keeping everybody happy at the moment. Okay, so even though Bitcoin is a little bit choppy, you can see this dominance pushing down, our alts are pushing up. So what I want to mark for you guys this weekend, if the market continues pushing up, okay, you need to stop your euphoria at 58.5, at 58%. These are danger zones where dominance can reverse. These are danger zones where dominance can potentially pump back and cause a little bit of damage. If you are over leveraged and you get a little move, a little bounce out of dominance, there's a very good chance you get wicked out there and you can get stopped out on some of your trades. So watch those bounce zones this weekend. 58.5, watch 58. Okay, that is potential bounce zones. Look at this rising trend, 200-day MA, 50-day MA, 100-day MA, horizontals. These are all obvious zones where dominance can bounce. Look after yourselves. Do not over leverage into resistance. And look, we all like to do it. Okay, but just be careful. Okay, you can see the story here on dominance. So as long as it's dropping, we are good. We are happy. And then USDT dominance making its way down. Now, I was talking about this on my private hackers stream earlier today. And what we're looking for here on dominance, we want to lose the major support. If we lose the major support, things look good. We'll obviously have some kind of snapback bounce at a point, but then we can turn super bullish on this USDT dominance as well. So that is quite nice if that thing keeps going lower for us. And Slothman says, let's get some bangers for the weekend. Guys, I've got you covered. And Upen says, that is weekend trap. It could be, guys. It could very well be. Okay, we're gonna deal with this. So total 12 hour, you can see we got our bullish print that we were looking for over the last couple of days. So that is looking bullish for us. This is total 3 on the 12 hour, and you can see what's going on here. We've got a little trend. Okay, there could be a typical trend break here to send it higher, or we can have a rejection. And isn't it funny right now that total 3 is sitting at resistance while ETH is sitting at resistance? Isn't it uncanny how these things are now tying together as well? So remember, total 3 is your entire shitcoin market that is at resistance, and then ETH obviously on its own is obviously a big player, and that dictates a lot of the altcoins for us. So things are getting very interesting at the moment from that side of things. Please, guys, can you go and do my poll? I dropped this today. ETH all-time high. Is it happening in February? Okay, at the Lord of Entry. Go to Twitter there. Please fill out my poll for me. I want to know the sentiment there. Is ETH all-time high happening in Feb? Yes or no? Okay, James, yes or no? ETH all-time high?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Really?
Trump's messing with everything, but he's buying the shit out of ETH. I'm going to trust Trump.
True story. True story. Not wrong.
Hundreds of millions of dollars in the past month. So
not wrong.
I think that's a good bet.
Tindo, bro, I sent you. Did you get it? I sent you your $100 that you won 2 days ago. I sent it to you, bro. Let me know. Let me know if you got it. Okay, let's go. The ETH bull run has begun. Mr. Narkle's calling me Bully Alpha. But this is basically the ETH bull run until we start breaking this 50-day moving average. We are not allowed to get too excited. So start with ETH versus BTC. Guys, I don't want to go on, but fuck me. Did I call this or did I call this? Okay. Here's our bounce off the monthly level. Look at this monthly level. Nice, beautiful monthly level. It's now printing a reversal on the monthly charts. Now, you don't see that very often. In fact, go back on this chart to November 2018. You haven't even seen a reversal print. That is how rare these things are. Hassan, hello. So that is what we're looking at. So that is looking good. So in terms of ETH versus BTC, we've had a beautiful bounce now, and it's the end of the month. This is the monthly candle, okay? 7 hours. This candle is going to close. Are we going to get this candle close above this region here? Are we going to start making our way back up? That's going to be nice and bullish for us. If we get a candle close under the trend, I'm afraid we're most likely coming back down here. And things could get a little bit messy, okay? And 𝗬𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪, he got it, but he's too scared to long.
He got the Bitfunded, but did he join hackers? Because
Philippe,
we're gonna have some guidance in there for everybody, right?
Philippe,
We've got our traders in the chat.
You in hackers.
Okay, he is in too. Well, good.
Is he?
I don't know. I
told him I'm putting in hackers. So Philippe, please, will you email giveaways at Crypto Banter? Okay, tell them I said I'm putting you in hackers. Okay, and they must speak to me. Email giveaways at cryptobanter.com. Okay, Philippe,
and hold on to that Bitfunded until you're in, because we've got some of our traders in the chats that are going to be guiding us through the Bitfunded thing to help everybody get through that initial process there with the first two challenges.
Okay, so you're going to get helped in there, in hackers. We're going to help you with the Bitfunded stuff. Okay, so Philippe, just do what you need to do. Email giveaways at Crypto Banter. James, please drop that in the chats. Okay. It's incredibly childish, but this is basically what we are looking at the moment. And this is the fun line. This is literally the fun line. The top is handbags and fun and gifts for your wife and gifts for your husband. The bottom is basically absolute dog shit again. And this is how I'm basically viewing this weekend. This is how I'm viewing the next couple of weeks. So this is the fun. The fun is up here, guys. This is where we're going to start really making some money on these altcoins, and all the pain and suffering that you have gone through is now going to start paying off for you. So anything above 3,500, that is still my big level. We want to close above 3,500. As long as we are closing above that zone, we are happy. Okay, so we can get a situation where we get a candle close there, they dip us back down, but then we want to send this thing. Okay, so we want to close above that 50-day MA, and this is what we're looking for. If we reject here, we are back to misery town. We are looking at a potential visit to 2,800 on ETH. That is why I said on the tile, this is so critical now that we can break this level. The bulls need to step in for us, or this ETH bull run is going to be finished just as quickly as this one, okay? And it's basically going to be over. So things need to happen this weekend. We need to get that pump. If we start blowing this 50-day MA, I'm adding to that long on Prime XBT. We're going to really start ramping that up. And we want to get ETH to 3.7. We want to get ETH to 4,080. Those are our targets. That is what we're looking for. Anything under here, dog shit. Okay, if we close under there, it's not a good look. Okay, we got to play safe in terms of that. Now, immediately, what do you need to do? If ETH is going to blow the 50-day MA, you naturally want to be looking at a couple of ETH plays. Now, I go on and on about this all the time. I obviously can't bring all of them to you, but one of the ETH plays is Ethereum Classic. Obviously, that is something you want to watch. Proper old school, but this thing will pop if ETH starts blowing. So you can see what's going on here. ETH Classic is sitting at a critical zone. We know ETH is at resistance. We know Ethereum Classic is at resistance. So this is how it works. If ETH starts popping, Ethereum Classic's going to start popping. It's no coincidence that they are both at resistance, and then this thing is going to fly. So in terms of ETH Classic, where can it go? 29. Where can it go? 33. And then I've got 36 for you guys. These are Ethereum Classic targets, so could be a nice banger here. From the 50-day MA, you got 20%, you got 32%, and then if you go back to the highs, you add about 44%, and that'll be our 7th of December highs. But ETH is really going to have to start ripping there. But I like the look of this thing. Wait for that break, ideally, and obviously you want to close above your 50-day moving average, which is sitting at 27.2. If you close above that, you're going to use that as your support for your trades. Okay, you want this thing to start pushing higher. So 27.2 is going to be your support marker that you are watching Ethereum Classic. Okay, little banger there for you guys. Then there's Uni, and look, no surprises, giving us what we want. This is actually the second time today. Now, I brought you this Uni setup yesterday. There were two options that we were looking at for Uni. One of them was a bleed out into the banger zone on the downside. Alternatively, we wanted the pop and the rejection at the VWAP and then the retest. Now, interestingly, this is our second visit to the VWAP today. So I just dropped in hackers here. Look out for the rejection. I've dropped that in my channel a little bit earlier, but this is typically where you get your rejections. Look at that VWAP. It's our VWAP from the highs, and now we're getting our rejection on Uni. So this now brings you the opportunity for your bullish entry. Now, if we get that dip into that zone, that is going to be your entry place. So anything down to about 12 is what you're going to be looking at for your bounce. Now, you do have a backup. You've got your VWAP from the lows at 11.7, but it's going to put you under a little bit of pressure in this region. Okay, so look out there. 11.7 is going to be your backup zone. If you start, if it starts closing under that, it's going to get a bit messy, and we're probably in for quite a bearish weekend if it does. So ideally, 12.04, that is going to be your bullish bounce zone now that you want. In fact, it's a touch higher here. I've got to actually adjust after that pop here. Let's just get this accurate here for you guys. 12.2. Okay, 12.2 is what you're looking at, and then you've got, 11.8. Remember, as the token starts pushing higher, you've got to raise your fibs and look for that confluence. Okay, so make sure they are tied in. Make sure you're getting your fibs in the right places. So the numbers are 11.8. Okay, that is it. And then 12.2. Those are your numbers that you are watching for Uni. Okay, that's your bullish numbers there. If you get that opportunity there, could be a little dip, fake out dip into those regions. Look for the bias degens and send that thing. You either have a bias long or you have a bias short. Okay, at some point in trading, whatever your bias, you have to push the buttons, okay? And that is why I'm giving you areas where you can push the buttons with a little bit more confidence than maybe you might not have, okay? So those are the zones that you are watching. And remember, these charts go straight into chart hackers after the show for you guys. Carlos says, is optimism still alive? I believe so. It will wake up. It will wake up when E starts doing its thing. No surprises. Anybody surprised on Lido? And look at this thing. Look at this absolute banger here. Look at this right shoulder. Disgusting. Okay, look how bullish this thing is looking now for Lido. So ETH hasn't even broken the 50-day moving average yet, and Lido is already getting thirsty. Okay, so just to reiterate targets for Lido as an ETH play, remember, if staking, if the regulations come back here with staking and all these things with the ETH crowd all buying ETH and they staking, the ETH crowd, the Trump crowd buying ETH and they staking, all these things, okay, watch Lido. 2.5 years a must break zone, but then Lido's going 2.7, 3, 4. Okay, those are your targets for Lido. All of this depends on that move. Okay, you see that little kitty with the hearts? Can you get any more childish than this? But if we break that 50-day MA, that is what it's going to feel like. You're going to feel amazing. Okay, your wife's going to be very happy with you. Okay, your husband's going to be very happy with you because you're going to be spoiling them. You're going to be in a good mood. You're going to be doing all sorts of fun shit. Okay, let's go. What else do we trade? We've got Lido and obviously Peppy. This has been my absolute banger and loving this thing. Jude wants a Lido entry. Okay, Jude, this is the problem. If this thing pumps like this and you don't have your entry, this is where you struggle. So make sure you are in hackers. If you want entries, we drop entries all day long. I drop entries. We drop setups. All the traders are in there. So a lot of the time, if we come to the show, or if one of our traders has been watching Lido, for example, in hackers, you would have got your entry already today. Okay. So now this thing is popped. And now we got to look at our secondary entry zone. So in terms of support for Lido, what you can do is use today's breakout candle as your main support. So ultimately, if you close under that zone, yes, this thing's dirty, but it also means the market is filthy and you don't necessarily want to be in a ton of positions if something like Lido, for example, is closing under today's breakout candle. So your main support is 2. That is the safest support I can give you. And in terms of upside targets, well, I've given them to you 2.5, 2.7, 3, and 4. But unfortunately now, your main risk for Lido is a 14% dip to the downside. So you need to just be cautious here if you're using leverage. If you're trading spot, okay, and you're sitting in a Lido position here and you see ETH breaking that 50-day MA, well, you're just going to sit back and chill, okay, because Lido is going to start ripping. for you guys, and it's going to start hitting those targets. Okay, so that is the best I can get you. Okay, let's go Peppy, another banger. Now, this thing, obviously, you guys know my conviction on this Peppy, and I'm always in a fucking Peppy trade. Okay, I'm always talking about it, so excuse me, but we've been waiting for this moment, and if ETH is going to blow, well, Peppy's going to deliver. So here's Peppy on the 3-day printing a reversal. Now, we haven't seen that since September 23. We haven't seen a reversal print on a 3-day. That's quite a big deal in terms of that. And, that's a sign for me that we should hold, worst case, these lows. But what is interesting to me on Peppy at the moment is we finally blown the 200-day moving average. And this is now going to be our support marker going forward. So until proven otherwise, that is going to be our main support, 1.132. Now, for those of you watching the show yesterday, you would have got that entry that I gave you. So this thing has now started popping off. And the target for me on Peppy, realistically, is going to be roughly 16, 17, and 18. Those are going to be your upside targets that you are going to look at. We're not going to get too greedy beyond that type of level. Naturally, we can do that. That's fine. But in terms of what I'm looking at in my current trade, I can't see myself holding this much further than the 17 level. Yesterday, I got my first banger from Hackers. Nice, Philippe. I'm also in Supra at the moment. I'm trading Supra here on WEX at the moment. I got a small position, but this thing is cooking at the moment. You can see I'm also short JASMY, and that was a short we looked at yesterday on a coin-based pump. There's Super. I've got Ponky. We opened that today. I've got Doge on a breakout, so there's still an entry here for Doge coming for you guys. And we've got Popcat, okay, long Popcat there on WEX. So nice. I'm also trading that Supra. Okay, let's talk Peppy now. Let's go degen stuff. Now, anybody that watched the show yesterday, you would have seen that I was looking for this move through that 200-day MA. I gave you a couple of levels of support that you needed to watch and what to look out for. I was obviously parked in that Peppy position, waiting for it to do things. And subsequent to that, I've added a little bit. And we are also now at a rejection zone, okay? So just like you've seen with Uni, look at our VWAP. Look at that, bang. Okay, no surprises here that we are struggling with Peppy in this region. So we might get one more push up. We might still hit that VWAP there, but I would say caution up here in this region, and there is now time on our side. So what we've done is we've got a beautiful break of horizontal. So that is looking good. We've got our 200-day MA support marker now. That is what we're going to use as a major support going forward. If we're closing under that, well, it means ETH got rejected, and it means ETH is coming back to 2,800, and they're going to ruin our day. Okay, and Upen got Brett. Nice, bro. I've had like a $20,000 swing on my Brett position. I'm quite chuffed with that at the moment. We just need Brett to pump a little bit harder, and then we're going to be out of that mess there. So that's a nice result at the moment. So just to finish in terms of Peppy, let's now raise our fib. So we're going to look at our new potential levels here that we can pay attention to for any dips to the downside. Obviously, your big one is going to be your 382. And I mean, you can see your 200-day MA is going to be tied into your 0.5 as well. So let's just get these out. And let's get this mapped out for you guys. So if there is weakness this weekend and you see the market falling over, as long as things are going to remain relatively bullish conditions-wise, this could be an opportunity for you. So remember, if the market falls over this weekend, you don't throw in the towel and give up and say, oh, it's fucking never happening. What you can do is start looking for bullish entries, because sometimes you need a flush out in the market, especially when there's been a quick, fast pump like this, and you could get some bullish entries. So mark these levels on your chart, for example, on Peppy, because this could be an opportunity for you guys. So don't consider it, a negative thing, especially if Peppy drops all the way back down, even 10% to the downside. That is still going to be pretty bullish for us. So levels you want to watch: 1346 down to 1.3. That is going to be your sexy hot zone. Why is it such a big area? Well, it's got a VWAP, a 382, a 200-day MA, and the horizontals, and my 0.5. So if we dip into that thing, that's most likely where the bulls need to step in, and that's most likely where you're going to get your golden leverage entry. Okay, that is going to send you on your way. Remember, you can get leverage trades and you can get spot trades. Now, if you have a big risk available, I mean, if there's a big risk on a candle, you generally want to trade spot. You want to be in, so you don't have to panic, you don't have to get liquidated. You buy this thing spot, as long as you're buying it in a big area, let it grind up, let it do its thing. If you are trading leverage, you need to be smarter and more greedy with your entries, and you need to be sharp as to where you get them. Okay, and that is what I specialize in. That is why you guys need to watch. Okay, so If this thing falls over 1346 down to 13, that is going to be your banger hot zone for Pepe. And then in terms of resistance, you can see we are in a resistance zone. So if you are buying Pepe now, you are putting yourself at a little bit of risk, because up to 153, this thing could reject pretty hard. So anything in this region, your upside here is about 5%, where there could be a rejection. Now, we know if you are patient in your trade, this thing will grind higher and it should potentially hit our targets. But if you're trading high leverage, don't get yourself into a position where your main support is 10% down, because you're going to get absolutely rinsed there if it does start dipping 10% and you sitting in leverage. Okay, I see we're getting a little bit of reversal here now, and this is quite annoying. So here's our Sol trade from yesterday. So the DGen stop got hit. Okay, I went in on Bitfunded here on Sol, and for me, as long as 230 is going to hold, I'm comfortable with this current trade. Okay, so right, I really don't think it will hold. Which one? What is Anowa looking at? What is he looking at there, James? Do we know?
I think it was the Pepe. That comment came up under your last one.
Okay, so guys, look, you understand the risk, okay? It's ETH's at resistance. It's there. It's clear as day, okay? Here's Sol. So again, the DGen stock got hit yesterday. I've gone in again on Bitfunded on one of my funded accounts, okay? So I've had a go on Sol. All I need this thing to do is hold 230. Now, if it dips lower, we know the lows are sitting at 222. And look, if ETH starts outperforming, it's okay if Sol's a little bit weaker, because it still means the market is getting carried up for us, okay? And that is what we're gonna look for. What does he say? No, wait, not Pepe, whiff. Okay, is he saying whiff? Maybe is looking like dog shit. Okay, we're gonna look at it now. So in terms of Sol, I've got this one on Bitfunded. Now, guys, this is the right shoulder that I was speaking about. Guys on the Hackers Zoom with me this morning, I gave you this right shoulder. I said you can long Sol here on that right shoulder. So I just bought some more. I did another order here on my funded account. Okay, so this is I'm live. Look there at the top there. It says live intermediate funded account. It's a $25,000 account, and they give this to you if you pass the challenge. Okay, so remember, Bitfunded is a prop trading business. So what happens is you send $79 or $100, they give you a demo account. You need to get 8% phase 1, 5% phase 2. If you pass that, they give you an account. They give you real money that you can trade with. So right now, this is my 25,000 funded account that I passed in the challenge section. So you can see I've still got 2 challenges here that I'm running. I've now passed 3 of their funded accounts. So these are all real money accounts for me now that I can take trades on and bank the profits and take the money out. Okay. And that is what I'm running now on the 25K account. And that is that for Bitfunded. So if you want some of this stuff, there is a link in the show description for you guys. Just go under the show, click on more, and you're going to find Bitfunded here just under the description with everything else that I talk about in the show. You're going to find it sitting there, okay, at the bottom there for you guys. Okay. And Slothman says, are we still short Spell? Correct. We are still short Spell, and we are short JASMY at the moment, and 𝗏𝗡𝗏 and Aptos and Sui. Okay, I'm going to show you all this stuff in a second. And Zeman Asizamuna, that's a name. That's a proper name, okay? Zimuna Sizamuna, okay? That's a name, bro, in Chart Hackers 24/7, okay? Okay, so guys, just in terms of Solana, you want to hold 230. Okay, that is what we want to see. Upside targets for me, look, 247, 267, 282. Okay, the market's got to be bullish though. Market falls over here, we fucked. Okay, it's going back down. Trump tariffs in Mexico isn't going to go down well with the market. Potentially not. Okay, let's see our S&P again. Where's our S&P? There it is. Okay, so it's okay. It's okay. It's not that bad. I don't think the Canadian market is gonna be enjoying it that much. Okay, so that is Sol done, and you know, this is. I mean, I just love this shit. Okay, I mean, I get these memes coming out of my ears all day. Okay, but you know, here's a trader crying, -5%. He's crying. Okay, he's in leverage. He's dying. The hodler's just sitting there chilling. You know, he's just chilling. Remember, there's 2 styles of trading. Well, there's multiple styles of trading, but spot trading, you never actually lose you never lose your money until you sell with spot trading. Okay, so if you're holding a spot position, you might just become a long-term investor. If you're trading high leverage and it goes goes under your price and it liquidates you, well, that money is gone. Okay, so that is why this is so hilarious. And I know a lot of leverage traders watch the show, so you want to see some leverage positions, guys. Okay, here we go. Here's the action. So how's our fart? Okay, we got some fart coin this morning. I see it's up and down. Okay, it's not great at the moment. Okay, let me talk you through this mess. So 𝗙𝗙, been building that 𝗙𝗙 position, as you know. We've now hit ETH resistance. So what have I done? I've opened a hedge 𝗙𝗙 short. So instead of taking profit on that trade, I've said to myself, okay, Trump in business, markets are liking this. Powell was dovish. What do I want to see here? Any dips here, I want to have the balls to hold this thing because I want to fucking grow this position. So how do I do that? I can take profit at the top side zone there, or alternatively, I can open a hedge short. If this thing drops lower, that hedge short prints green all the way down. I can use that. I can close that short in profit, and then I can add to my 𝗙𝗙 position. So as you can see right now, I've added quite a bit to that 𝗙𝗙 since I think you saw it yesterday. It's now $42,000, and it's now $5,000 up on that pump. So hopefully some of you guys got some of those entries. Here's the spell short from yesterday, courtesy of DJ and Dave. That thing is now printing to the downside. No reason to close a head short, okay? No reason to close this thing. If the market's going to go up, that's great. If the market falls over, well, we're cooking on a couple of these head shorts. Here's grass. We took this long on the live hacker session this morning. It hasn't moved yet, okay? So you can see I'm still flat on this grass position. It remains to be seen what happens there, but if we lose the lows, I'm going to be jumping out on that. Here's my ETH head short that I've just opened. There it is. Okay, $50,000 ETH short. Your exit plan, or my exit plan, is 3480. So if it goes into 3480, it's going to close me out up there, and that was purely chart based. Okay. Then Aptos, that is the short I gave you guys yesterday. I've added to that short off the rejection on the VWAP. I'm going to take you through that chart. Fartcoin, you know about. Let's go render. No changes there. That's the render trade I gave you guys in hackers and on the show. That thing is green. Brett, nice. Okay, $20,000 reversal on Brett. Okay, banged out another head short here in case we reverse. JASMY still short from yesterday. We took that after the show. Injective pumping. Okay, 37,000 now. It's now almost 5,000 up. What else we got? 𝗬𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪, long and short on that one, waiting for action. Okay, head short in play there. Lever is still short from a couple of days ago. That needs to make up its mind. Okay, AVAX, boring. Sui still long, got the hedge in play now at resistance. And that is the short I gave you yesterday. No reason to close that just yet. With long, that thing is cooking. XRP, dog shit. Arweave, 6,800 up. I've banged out the head short. I'm going to show you that Arweave trade because I might actually just bank this one. In fact, you know what? Fuck this. I'm closing this one. That's $7,000 profit there. Bang. Okay, well, close Arweave. We're done. I'm going to show you why I've closed that. That is at a resistance band. And then Sol at the bottom. Okay, so there we go. There we go. There we go. That is a mix of what is going on there at the moment. And let's talk a couple of RWA plays quickly because this is important. It's making the headlines once again. And Gray BTC says, why is Ondo not dumping after the unlock? Okay, because everyone's fucking buying Ondo because of RWA. Their global markets, I think it's called Global Markets, James. That is going live 5th or the 14th of February. You're going to be able to trade real life stocks. Okay, with this thing, it's an actual product. Okay, and BlackRock love this thing, and I gave you guys these entries. Yes, sir.
I might add that's on the XRP ledger too. The Ondo tokenized assets.
Find a man who a man who wants to talk about XRP will always find a way. He will always find a way.
If you know an XRP holder and they haven't said anything to you, there's something wrong with them. They'll let you know.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so I gave you guys this entry or the setup on Ondo yesterday, and right now it's playing out. So hopefully you guys have been patient with it. And Max, yes. So Max, it looks like a lot of trades, but at the end of the day, you can take profits on some of them, which is what I like to do. And then if I have a bullish bias, I want to obviously have the shorts open, and those shorts are going to send me down. Okay, and if the market falls over, those shorts print green. And as long as I've got great entries on my longs, the only real risk starts happening when I start closing under those lows. Okay, okay, let's go back to Ondo. Where's the trade for you on Ondo? Now, you guys saw me on the FOMC live night. I closed my Ondo long in this region. That was resistance, and I explained why I was looking for this thing to start rolling over, and you can see what's going on. We are now dipping down into our regions of interest. So we know Ondo overall is bullish. Does it need some kind of reset? Yes. Okay. You can see we've got this divergence. We got our 2 hour pushing lower. So ultimately, if the market's going to stay bullish, this 2 hour is going to reset, and we most likely get a decent size entry on Ondo. Now, the first zone of interest I wanted you to see yesterday was our 50-day moving average. Look at that. Resistance. We've broken it. Now we want to treat it as support. 1.494 is what we're looking at. 1.494 is what we're looking at there on Ondo. Then a little bit lower down, look at this. Our anchored VWAP pushing up support into 1.45 is what you're going to be looking at on Ondo. So these are nice bullish zones. Obviously, guys, the safest play is low leverage. If you are bullish, build your position here. Build your position there. Build your position, because if it's going to stay bullish, you tend to bounce and hold these trends. Okay, so let this thing reset. Okay, have a relaxing weekend. Have your entries ready to go. If you start holding this trend, then you guys should be good, and this thing should move higher. In terms of a degen play, if you're trading high leverage, you're looking here 1.49. 1.5, that region over there. Look for a reaction there. Nibble around the zone. Look for a reaction. Look for the trend break, and then you can start adding to this thing. So that is where you're going to nibble 1.494, 1.5. That is your first zone of interest. That's your 50-day moving average bringing up support as well, and that might give you that reset. But you can look for entries all the way down to 1.4 on Ondo without actually being too bearish. Anywhere in that region there, you can see that rising trend makes sense to us down in those levels. Okay, so play that game on Ondo. Watch it closely, because I think this thing stays bullish. Then another one, 𝗙𝗢𝗟. And here's a nice little note from CR, curated by R. RWA is about to take over. Here's why 𝗙𝗢𝗟 can be a major player. So if you want to have a read here as to what is going on with 𝗙𝗢𝗟, you can follow this guy. But again, RWA play, okay? And here it is at the moment, pushing into quite an interesting zone for us. So I just want to give you guys a word of caution here, because there might be two trades on the table, okay? Number one is a possible beautiful short coming in for 𝗙𝗢𝗟, and I just want to show you that region. So firstly, that one will be a push into 618, okay? Push into horizontals, push into trend, push into 50-day MA, push into VWAP at the highs, okay? So at first glance, this thing looks like a short, okay? So if we look at this thing, any pumps into 386, those type of levels there, looks like a reasonable zone where you can start looking for some kind of short. Now, if it's a short-term short or whatever, that remains to be seen. But in terms of a rejection, when I see something like this, I try and steer away from any, bigger picture longs, unless we're going full degen here and we're playing lower time frames. If I look at this thing, I say to myself, well, we got the 50-day in the way, we got the VWAP from the highs, we've got 618. There's a lot going on here. So your big trade on 𝗙𝗢𝗟 probably happens once you break through your 50-day moving average. So let's get through that 50-day, which is at 0.40. So let's get through that for the big trade. Okay, that will be a big one that most likely takes you up to those types of levels. But in terms of resistance, 39 to 40 is a problem area for 𝗙𝗢𝗟. But I do believe, once this thing breaks that big resistance zone, then this thing goes a little bit harder, and we start getting a little bit more action. Okay, so there is 𝗙𝗢𝗟, something interesting there for you guys. Then let's talk OM. Now, this is an RWA play, and tons of shit going on with this OM. I mean, do you remember that pump we had just the other day? This was actually crazy. When was this? This was in November during the Trump pump. Okay, perfect timing. And then look at this distribution here. I mean, look at this here. That must have been quite a boring trade. Okay, you ever sat in this one, or we ever tried leverage on this thing? Fuck me, you must have got chopped up there. And but now we have blown out of that range, so that is looking pretty good for us. And in terms of a bullish continuation, or in terms of an area of interest here, I've got a proper banger for you guys. Okay, so OM, you can see it's bleeding out a little bit. My oscillator on the 2 hours sending me down, so it's telling us we might be dipping a little bit lower. And what we're going to look for is a move into 4.97 down to the VWAP at around about 4.8 is what we're going to look at. So just watch this thing, let it come down in here. That is probably going to be your degen bounce zone. Now, we can't predict how high that thing's going to bounce, but that is where you're going to probably snag some kind of entry here. So 4.97 down to 4.8 that looks like an interesting zone there for me on OM. Now, if that region fails, your next obvious play for OM is going to be 4.37, 4.38. That is going to be your next obvious play. Look at that beautiful chart prime order block there at the bottom as well. So you know that you've got backup here, and at 4.38 is what you're going at. So those are your big levels. OM, RWA play, absolute pumper. Let's just look at what this thing can do when it does hit something spicy. 58%. Okay, let's look at this move here. What's this banger here off a nice level there? 35%. Okay, so maybe some continuation here. You know your levels. This chart is going straight into chart hackers after the show. Okay, that'll be there for you guys. Okay, let's talk a couple of fun things. You're watching all this stuff going on, and how do you do it? Well, this is how you do it. If you want to learn how I trade, you want to learn all these things that I do, you want to understand how I know these things, or how I predict where things are going to bounce or react or do whatever they're going to do my Xcelerator course. Okay, this is the course for you. If you've been watching my show long enough and you are slightly interested in what is going on, this will change your game. Okay, this will literally change your life. Okay, I'm going to simplify trading for you here. You're going to understand all this stuff. I've broken down some concepts that some people can make incredibly complicated. I've made it so simple for you to understand. I've given you the absolute basics that you need to start trading. Okay, my masterclass is coming up on Monday, and I'm going to be doing an advanced leverage for you guys. And then most importantly, I'm actually going to be teaching you something else in that as well. And I just want to turn down the sound because there's a very important thing you're going to learn as well with the Xcelerator course. James, just let me know if you can hear this one. This is very important, guys. And that is what you need to know. You need to know how to say banger, because when it pops, you got to be like banger, 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 banger. When it pops, you got to be like banger. Okay, and that's part of the trading accelerator. They're going to teach you how to do that. So, okay, let's get involved in this, guys. Sign up to the trading accelerator. Go into the show description. Go under. You can see it's right at the top here for you. Click on it. Register for the trading accelerator. Get stuck in. You'll understand what I'm talking about. It will make your life so much simpler when you see me talking about these reaction zones and hot zones and what the hell is this guy doing? Why is it bouncing off these lines? How does he know it's bouncing off these lines? Well, do the accelerator and then you're going to know. Okay, it's very simple. And most importantly, NZ Danny says banger, 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 banger. NZ Danny, you're famous. You're famous. You're famous. What you need to know. You need to know how to say that. Okay, so that is what you need to do, guys. It's as simple as that. Now, why am I short JASMY? Okay, why did we decide last night? Now, I think DJ and Dave actually dropped it in his live session after the show in Chart Hackers. James, I'm assuming he did, because we looked at this one at length last night. Now, there was an interesting reason why we all shorted JASMY. So, So JASMY got listed on Coinbase, and what we know is when something gets listed on Coinbase, this thing absolutely pumps. But what happens when you get a Coinbase listing or an Upbit listing and things like that? You get that initial pump, but these things always, okay, and I say fucking always because it's always rejects at some kind of massive marker or some kind of big area for us. And what did it do last night? It pumped straight into the 50-day moving average, okay, straight into that thing. How many times have we seen that? Okay, so straight into the 50-day MA for the rejection. Where's my music? It's my music, and there it is. Okay, straight into the 50-day MA for the rejection, and that gives you your short entry. So the strategy was on JASMY yesterday was, how can we play this thing for a mega move to the downside? And it could still be on. Okay, so I've got more orders for JASMY. I actually short JASMY on WEX as well. Okay, and I've got more orders in that order block and 382 to the upside because I'm looking at this macro VWAP sitting at the top here at 37, which could come into play as well. So very patient on this JASMY trade. They can come. They must come and make it red. They can do that all day long. They must come for me. And I'm adding up there, and we're looking for this thing to start falling over. So that is the game plan on JASMY. Now, naturally, this thing can get out of hand pretty quickly. So if you're going to play the game, you need to have an isolated account. You need to play low leverage on these things, and you need to ladder in to the position, because we know after these pumps, the initial rejection, that's great. And those trades are now green. But if you want to hold on for the big move, and if this thing is going to fall over, like we obviously expecting it to after this Coinbase listing, well, then it's going to probably push up again and put you under a little bit of pressure. So for me, if we close above the 36, 37, the 37 region. You can see why. That's the order block. That's our 382. If we close above there and we start finishing up there, then I'm going to start exiting that short, okay? But until then, no reason yet to be exiting my existing short here on JASMY. There it is, okay? So that thing is running at the moment. You can see it's a low leverage 7x, and there's more orders higher up, and we will catch that thing if it pumps into some more levels to the upside. So you can see why that is interesting to me. Okay, let's talk Aptos. And no reason to close the Aptos short just yet. If the market's going to fall over, this thing is going to start falling over with the rest of the market, I would expect. So sitting in that hedge Aptos short at the moment, and you can see right now we were looking at that rejection in the VWAP zone. Here's our VWAP. You can see resistance here, and here's our VWAP again acting as resistance. And look at our quantum reactor. That thing is still red, and that is also acting as a resistance marker now on Aptos. So in terms of, should we be closing this just yet? I can't see a reason to close that in the current situation, especially if you are net long. Okay, nice hedge play here for you, and this thing can obviously now pump higher. But in terms of where the oscillator is, and in terms of until ETH breaks through that 50-day moving average, this could be a nice play because we know it's at a resistance band here for us. And if we get a candle close above our VWAP, then I can say, okay, I'll throw in the towel here. If we start closing above 8.3, then I'd say I'm throwing in the towel, and then this probably grinds higher, most likely rejects up there, maybe 8.8 or something along those lines, or at about 9.6. Okay, but I'll deal with that separately. Right now, for me, candle close above that 8.3, yeah, going to probably start trimming that thing. Until then, no reason to exit that Aptos short. Okay, let's talk Doge. Now, Grayscale unveils a new Doge trust. It didn't respond that well, okay, actually, if we think about it. And I wanted to go through Doge in detail for you guys. And just to show you bigger picture, we are still actually a little bit bearish on the current situation. So here is Doge on the 8 hour. And now I've also got a lower time frame trade as set up for you guys that you might be wanting to take. And right now, in terms of where Doge is on the 8 hour, you can see our oscillator is turning bullish. That's nice. But we've lost our rising trend. Look at this thing. We've got this beautiful rising trend that was our support. We have now lost that. Okay, so what has happened here? If you were in Hackers, you will have seen my chart on Monday that I dropped in there. I think it was Monday. Yeah, Monday the 27th. That is my higher time frame chart. And, that is where we were looking for the bounce on Doge, okay, which is what we got. And now we are pushing into resistance. So as you can see, this thing is looking bearish on the higher time frame until we start breaking through 354, 355. When we start clearing those levels, okay, on the higher time frame, then things start looking a little bit better. Now, this is where it comes into play, where it depends on your bias as to how you want to play this. Because in terms of this picture here, I'm looking at a possible push into that region and then a short opportunity on Doge. Look at that turbo. Jasmy's pushing as I'm talking about this short. They're sending Jasmy up. How good is that?
Always the way.
Okay, guys, just be careful. Okay, just be careful. Just be careful. Look after yourselves. Okay. Okay, so that is the play on Doge, bigger picture. Now, what if you have a bias and you saying, well, fuck, hang on. Okay, Trump's here. Joe Powell's dovish. Okay, market's looking nice. I think Doge is going to pump. Okay, if that is your bias, then you go here. And you say, okay, cool. Here's a lower time frame degen setup. I'm a leverage trader. I'm looking for some action. I want to throw my chips on the table here. And I want to say Doge actually breaks through the 50-day MA because ETH is going to do the same. And if that is your bias, well, this is where you start looking for a leverage long. Okay, so you can see Doge has now popped through horizontal. Look at that. 3358. Okay, broken through horizontal. Your key support is going to be 329. You can see this. If you close under there, that thing turns bearish and you start looking at this type of scenario on Doge. Looks pretty horrible. If it stays bullish, you would expect this thing to hold this rising trend. So you might have it depends on the weekend, but you might have a situation where we dip in there and then you get that send. So all you need to worry about now, Doge traders, 329, that is going to be quite a big level for you. You want to hold that. You can see there's your 100-day moving average as well, running across there, giving you extra support in this region. So 329, degen traders, look for that to hold. Okay, and that should start giving you a couple of targets. Now, your targets are going to be short term, 351. Then it depends on, how you want to play this. So 351 is 5% away. Then you got to see if this thing pops that 50-day moving average, you start opening up new possible targets. So your first one, and you could just play the wicks. You don't have to get too creative here. You could just play visits to these wicks if you want to chase some targets. So you can go 37, 375, and you can go just under 0.4 as your next potential degen targets. Now it starts looking nice, 11%. 18%. Now it starts looking interesting. And 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 says, add to the short. Look, bro, that's the story. I've got those orders. We planned that setup, and that is what we're going for. If you are taking trades, remember, you got to do the work. You got to understand your risk. You got to understand where you enter, where you exit. Okay, and if that is your trade, and you set it up when you were thinking rationally and objectively, then you set your trade up and you go for it. Now, if you let emotions get involved, then you can be like, oh my God, there's a green candle. I need to close this. And then what happens? It pumps or it dumps. Okay. And that is not the type of mindset you really want to have. So set up your trades when you're objective and you don't have any money in the game. Then look at it like holistically like that, and then make the play and let it play out for you. Okay. Just stick to your plan. Okay. Doge, guys, I hope you've got the idea here. Degen play to the upside if you want to take on that risk. And then I've shown you danger zones ahead. Okay, you can see that rising trend, bearish there. Okay, Chaos, why are you laughing at me, bro? What's going on here? Why is he laughing? God, it's 55 minutes already. It's 55 minutes already. Do you want more charts? I've still got a couple more for you. Okay, coming in hot. Let's go. I've been called Dilly Willy in my life before. Don't you worry. I've been called Dildo as well many times in my life. I'm not afraid. Okay. Okay, where's you go, Dilly? You see, Dilly Willy. You see, there you go. Everyone's laughing at Dilly's Willy. But you do like that. I mean, I love this thing back here. It's the best. Okay, it's the absolute best. I'm just here for entertainment, guys. I'm here for entertainment. Okay, Michael, he likes a bit of turbo, that man. Okay, let's go. I'm digressing. Okay. Here's a gaming narrative trade. Now, we jumped into this one earlier today, and Panda from the Chart Hackers is watching quite a few interesting charts. Okay, it's nice to have so many traders in there that are watching different charts. Now, there is potentially something brewing on Super. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys the setup that we're busy looking at. Obviously, we want to see this thing start popping, but Super right now is sitting at resistance. Okay, so we're going to watch this one. And when this starts getting some action, you can see my super targets to the upside, 1.11. And look at this absolute banger. And that's going to be a potential short zone for you guys as well. So if this thing turns into a pumper, okay, you shorting this thing. 1.4 is where you're going to be looking to exit, or you're going to look to short this thing. But first things first, let's get an entry. Okay, so right now you can see super bearish. It's sitting at this resistance band here. That's our 382. Look at that. You can't make this shit up. Look at that 382 there. Bang. Okay, pushing right into that. Let's adjust our box here. Let's put the box beautifully there. Remember, we must have neat boxes. Yeah, keep our charts neat. Okay, helps us think better. Okay. So super at resistance. What do we want to see? We want to see some kind of bullish dip here on the market, something kind, something relaxing, okay, something that's not going to make us shout at the dog. Okay, so 0.96, 0.956, 0.96. That is a realistic zone here for super. Okay, that is the zone you want to watch. 0.956. Watch that area for a dip, and then look for some kind of bullish bounce. You've got some nice tie in here as well. And you can see we've got a wick to that side too. We might even be able to call it an inverse head and shoulders there, or the inverse cock and balls, or whatever you want to call it. But that is something that could be interesting. So super, if the market's kind, 956, that is where you're looking for a bounce on super. Let's talk WIF. And who said WIF is getting tired? Yeah, we're nearly at our short zone, guys. We are nearly there. Okay, so this is going to be your rejection zone. That's going to be your short zone that you're going to be watching for WIF. So, I mean, funnily enough, I gave you guys an entry that I really liked yesterday. Okay, 1.06. I didn't even put the 618 on there, because I thought, fuck it, it's like there's not enough confluence there for me on that 618. And what do the crypto gods do for me on WIF? Just to fucking annoy me. Look at that. Look at that wick onto the 618. Okay, just because I didn't give it to you yesterday, the crypto gods came and said, well, there we go. We'll touch that. Thank you so much. And once again, if you were trading a 618 there, the WIF market makers seem to like a 618. Okay, so there it is. That's so annoying. But anyway, in terms of what WIF is doing now, for me, short zone 1.36 is what you're going to be looking at. And let's see. I mean, you can see it's rejecting now. Let's take a look at what we've got in the way. Let's see if we got a 786 there. Yeah, you dirty dog. Look at that, 1.32. So lower high in play for WIF. I would say the most obvious short zone for me is going to be that. Okay, that wick grab. Look at those wicks. 1.36 VWAP tap as well. That's going to be your exit zone, your TP zone, your possible short zone. So be patient on that one if you're looking for something. If you're long, well, you got to make a call now. Okay, if you're long, depends where you're long from. 1.13, that is going to be your support that you're going to watch, your big support. And then in terms of degens, well, let me give you some degen stuff, you filthy animals, for the weekend. I know what you guys want. You want these tight stops, you want these tight entry zones, and you know what, I'm going to deliver them for you. So let's go. Okay, let's go WIF on the 15 minutes. We want to just really get into the nitty gritty. Make sure you get some degen plays. Let's get a VWAP in there. We want to see where the VWAP is going to tie in, and we just want to get some kind of confluence here for us, and we can start looking at a few areas. Now, for some reason, and let me know if anyone else has this problem, I'm using Brave this time on my browser, and it's actually quite slow. So I might be going back to Chrome. It's quite irritating. You can see, look at that. I mean, fucking hell, look, I'm just trying to chart. Where's my VWAP? Okay, so it will come back in a sec. Okay, but in terms of zones you want to be watching right now, I mean, these do look quite nice on a lower time frame. These do look very interesting. Okay, so with 1.246 degens, that's an area of interest, 1.246. And then you're looking at 1.2 is going to be your next one. And Chaos, I still can't get over that. I've been called before comment. But you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, wait. I mean, my chart's not loading, guys. Okay, wait. I want to give you this WIF chart. Hold on. Let me just get this WIF going here. Is everyone okay? Is everyone hanging in there? Okay, no one getting rinsed yet. Are you guys behaving yourselves? Okay, there's WIF on the 1 hour. Let's go. God, I don't. Okay, guys, as of from Monday, I'm switching back to Chrome. It just means I can't play the videos. I have to switch screens and bring boomer vibes. Hang in there. It's coming. It's coming. Okay, switch to 𝗬𝗓 while we wait for WIF. Ah, look at this link rejection. Look at that in the order block from our chart prime order blocks. Look at that. Bang. Okay, guys, don't forget, in the Xcelerator course, I'm teaching you how to do these order blocks. I'm teaching you how to trade using them. Okay, it's all there. It's all there for you guys. Okay, so there's link. Okay, rejection in the order block. That is going to be your upside. That's going to be your resistance, 26.4. If you are short link, that's where you bang out your stop, just above that area there. So above the highs, you can see that a nice sell candle there. Looks nice. Okay, let's go 𝗙𝗢 while we wait. 𝗙𝗢 still under the 50-day MA, so nothing you need to do just yet. If you are not, or you're looking for a position, 200-day moving average is your support, 448. And the 50-day MA, just like ETH, is your resistance. So until you break through that, be a little bit cautious if you're not in a position already. And in terms of a degen play, here's 𝗙𝗢 on the degen play. I did drop this one today in Chart Hackers. I gave everybody this divergence here, and we had a nice little pop on 𝗙𝗢. So hopefully everybody got their entries this morning over there. Okay, that is where we're looking for the bounce. And right now we've got a trend break. So in terms of a degen play on 𝗙𝗢, what you can watch, okay, it's a little bit degen, guys. Okay, but what you can watch here is your 457, okay, as your potential short-term retest zone. So that is going to be a nice, a kind pullback there, 457. Otherwise, you're watching your lows at 446. Now let's go back to WIF. Let's see if WIF is delivering for me. No, they're still not giving me my chart. They're trying to punish me. So it's ridiculous. Okay, going straight back to Google. I mean to Chrome. Okay, guys. That's a lot. Okay, I've covered a lot of charts here today. Okay, ETH at resistance. You understand the assignment. Okay, ETH needs to blow the 50-day MA. ETH needs to break through these levels, or we might have quite a shitty weekend after getting late long. Okay, so you've got short setups. If you look at Super, for example, that is at resistance. If you're looking for a hedge play, that's sitting at resistance, okay? You're looking at ETH, that's at resistance. You're looking at Aptos, Sui, they are all sitting at resistance. You know the long setups now that I've given you. I've given you Doge, I've given you Super, I've given you Ondo, I've given you OM, I've given you WIF as well. And you've got longs, you've got shorts, okay? Don't over leverage. Don't, don't do that to yourself. Just chill. Okay, it's a vibe. Okay, and hackers, I'll be Sunday. We're doing a live session for the hackers crew, so we'll see you then. Other than that, have a good weekend, everybody. See you later.